We've been talking about the strengthening of the link between the prospecting we do and the goals that we set. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are paying close attention to the goals. Why is it important? It's important because when we're picking up the phone, we're knocking on doors, we're getting dismissed, we're getting chewed out. We always want to remember what's the end goal. Okay, what's the end goal? Again, welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, we're talking about just listed, just sold. We are talking about the connection between the goals that we set and then the prospecting that we do. And why is this important? Because we always have to remember, what is the end goal? Why are we doing this? Okay, so we want to make sure we understand that. Number two is the consistency behind it is going to allow us to grow, is going to allow us to get to that next level. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are continuously prospecting, finding a rhythm, and so on and so forth. All right, and then as far as creating a pre-prospecting routine, we always want to create some version of consistencies. And what are some of those consistencies? We want to show up every single day, set a specific time, a specific day that we're going to be starting our day. So we want to start our prospecting on a consistent basis. From that pre-prospecting routine, I'm going to encourage you, do some version of working out, some version of eating healthy, do some affirmations, work on your mindset a little bit, go through, write down some intentions, look at some visualization, do some meditation, visualization, all of these things, anything that's going to put you in a powerful mindset. Get to your desk, get to your office at a specific time. Give yourself ideally a deadline that you would like to be there by a certain time. The other thing is that we do also want to be in a position where we have a clear desk. I don't want you guys to look at your desk. For those of you that are at your desk right now, is it clear? Is it inspiring you? Or does it make you feel, cluttered, make you feel frustrated? Does it make you feel like, oh my gosh, there we go, I got to pay these bills. You got the gas bill, you got the electric bill, you got all of these projects you have to do. You got your kids' homework on your desk. You got to get rid of that stuff. Okay, that doesn't help us. Role playing is vital to the growth of what we do. Now, why is this important? It's important because what we want to do is we want to be in a position where we are constantly looking at the working of strengthening our ability. We speak a very specific language in this industry. I don't know if you guys know this. The language that we speak is the language of sales. It's different than every other day. As I work with some of my agents on Lisette and our team, okay, or some of the coaching clients that I work with, it's normal for us to go through and say, hey, would you like something to drink? Is it okay if we start asking these type of questions in everyday format. But the language of sales doesn't start with can you, will you, do you mind, is it okay, so on and so forth. It starts with who, what, when, where, and why. We're normally not used to that format of conversing. So we want to continuously work on our skill set. We want to work on the language of sales. There's a certain rule that's called the rule of 10,000. If you haven't heard about it, I would encourage you to look it up. Okay, this isn't my philosophy. This is just something that I've heard, and it's something that I chased. Now, the rule of 10,000 basically states any time that you apply the rule of 10,000, it should make you, in a sense, an expert. Now, whether you believe it or don't believe it, it doesn't matter. But I do believe in the fact that the faster you get to that 10,000, okay, the better off you're going to be. So are you going to role play that one time, which we're going to talk a little bit about in just a minute, or are you going to practice the script 100, 200, 300, even 500 times a day? So work on your skills. Best part about it is have fun prospecting. You have to have fun prospecting. This is a hard business. The agents that unfortunately sputter at the bottom, doing a deal every other quarter, doing 2, 3, 5, 7 deals. Okay? It's hard. It's hard to be in this industry living that kind of a lifestyle. And it's year after year after year after year of frustration, annoyance, agitation. We don't hit our goals. We did 7 deals last year. Next year, we want to do 20 deals. And we find ourselves in this constant state of frustration and annoyance. So what we need to do is we need to change some of our habits. And one of the habits is simply having fun with our prospecting. Okay, because it is challenging. Okay, so look for that environment, make fun of yourself. Oh my gosh, I sat there and said the wrong word. I kept saying, role play, practice with somebody, prospect with somebody, create a prospecting group. This helps a lot because the lighter you keep it, the easier it becomes. And in that, it allows us the opportunity, of course, to create accountabilities. Okay. If I sat there and I said, hey, Lizette, today we're going to prospect. Whoever gets to 10 contacts first buys dinner, as an example. I was like, okay, cool. Well, let's go ahead and have fun with this. Let me throw it back to the audience. Again, thank you guys all for being here. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, welcome. I'm going to encourage you to come join us over on Zoom as it gives us the opportunity to interact a little bit better. So I talked about role playing. I talked about the language of sales. I want to park here for just a minute. What we want to do is that there's 3 stages to the language of sales. Yes, we are talking about just listed, just sold, but I'm speaking in general when it comes time to scripts. Now, the 3 stages, stage number 1 is reading it. Going through and just reading the script. Now, the example that I gave to, one of our agents was, it's kind of like the 8-year-old trying to learn to play, and they're going through and they're just simply reading the script. They sound corny, they sound cheesy, but they can get away with it because they're absolutely adorable 8-year-olds. Well, we can't do that as a 28, 38, 48, or 58-year-old because it puts us in this awkward position. And that's what we do. We pick up the phone, we start calling, we read the script, we get agitated, we get annoyed, we get made fun of, and we go, I don't want to do this. Okay. This sounds so fake. And you're right, because it is. Which puts you in a position you have to get to the second stage. And that second stage is the memorization of that. The memorization is knowing the words. Why is this important? This is important because it allows us the opportunity to be able to think more about with what they're saying and less about what we're going to say, which puts us in a position where we can listen more. And the more we listen, the better we can prepare some questions, the better we can in terms of responding, okay, or knowing how to better prepare a stronger question as they're coming. Because the more we practice this, the more we've heard the direction of the question that they're putting together, or the response that they're putting together. Now, the reason I'm asking from this direction, if you've never played baseball, one of the hardest things, I grew up as an athlete, okay, one of the hardest things to do as an athlete, okay, I don't care what your background is, what you've done, whatever it is, the hardest thing to do for anyone is to hit a fastball, okay, is to hit a major league pitch. You get 1/8 of a second, 1/8 of a second to react. It probably took me longer to snap my fingers than it takes for you to be able to react. Well, what's even harder than trying to hit a 99, 100, 104 mile per hour fastball is trying to hit a 96 mile per hour slider, followed by a 104 mile per hour fastball. Some of you guys are like, what are you talking about? Well, the more that those people practice, and that's the reason why Shohei Ohtani is going to make $1 billion off of his skill set as an example, is because he has the ability to react. And that's the difference between Shohei and Robert Villanueva. Okay. I was a really good high school baseball player, but I sucked as a college player. Right? And let alone, no team was looking to bring on a very average of an athlete of Robert Villanueva and give me $1 billion because I couldn't react. I could hit the shit out of an 85 mile per hour fastball. But the moment that the ball started getting into the 90s, I just could not react. I was not that good. Now, why am I bringing this into play? Because as people are giving us their responses, it allows us the opportunity to formulate. The stronger and the faster we memorize it. Now, the ideal place we want to get it is to that third position. And that third position is the internalization. I'm going to give you guys some very quick tips. I'm going to share the script here in about 5 minutes, but I'm going to give you guys some quick tips. So make sure you guys are writing these things down as to how to go past the reading into the memorization and even preferably into the internalization. What's the difference between the three? Again, remember, the 8-year-old trying to read the script, reading the script. And then the second one, memorization. Okay, so now the 8-year-old has it down, but still is an 8-year-old. And the third one is Leonardo DiCaprio. That's the internalized version. That's being able to use all of the words, regurgitate it, and be you, and then be able to relay the information. And I'm going to show you guys in just a little bit the difference between the three. Rhetorical. How many of you guys are role-playing right now? How many of you have role-play partners? How many role-play partners do you have? How often are you role-playing? I'll ask my coaching clients and they'll go through and they go, coach, or at least a newer one, and they go, coach, I got 2 role-play partners. That's cute. Okay, I need you to get 10. And even then, we're not going to stop at that because the more, rule of 10,000, the more you practice it, the better you become. So in that, average realtor will probably role play 2 or 3 times a week. Here's what Robert would do. What Robert would do, I would practice 4 to 6 hours a day. And I'm going to show you how I was able to practice almost 1,000 times a day. Now, remember, I did this for almost 10 years. So just imagine how much work, energy, and effort. Now, I'm not telling you, oh my gosh, now I got to go and work a part-time job on learning the scripts. Nope, I'm going to give you a little bit of a cheat code. What's the cheat code? Well, here's the cheat code. The cheat code is number 1 is recording yourself. Just record yourself. On average, it's going to take about 30, 35, maybe 40 seconds of recording time. That's the average. Now, in that, what I would do is I would go through and I would play it at 1.5 times speed. And at playing it at 1.5 times speed, I would be able to listen to myself faster. And all I would do is practice on the words, not tonality, not mirroring and matching, not inflection, not anything other than the words. That's all I would practice. And I would just listen to myself. And by recording myself on average 32 seconds, and I would go through and I would listen to myself at 1.5 times. I would listen the playback to about 20 to 22 seconds. Why is this important? This is the part I need you to understand the breakdown. So about 20 to 22 seconds over the course of a minute, I'd listen to myself 3 times. Over the course of an hour, which is 60 minutes, I'd listen to myself about 180 times. Let's round it up to about 200 times. Now, mind you, I would role play, practice, and or listen to myself in repeat mode 4 to 6 hours a day. Okay. So remember, almost 200 times in an hour. And I would go through, and again, 4 to 6 hours a day. So at 200 times an hour times four, that's 800. 400, I'm sorry, 200 times 6 hours, that's 1200 times. How in the world, Robert, did you ever make 4 to 6 hours of time in practicing this? There we go. So the very first thing is I would go through and I would put my AirPods on when I would actually get started with my day. And as I get started with my day, it would almost always start at 3:45, maybe 4 o'clock, the absolute latest. I would go through, get ready for the gym, and that would take me 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending, getting my pre-workouts, getting my bag ready, getting dressed, so on and so forth. I would listen to myself. That would be about 30 minutes of listening to myself. There's 30 minutes there. And that's just doing nothing. That's just getting ready. And then I would go to the gym and it would almost always be about 90 minutes. I wouldn't do the full 90 minutes because I would listen to something inspirational, do some other things, but I would invest probably about a good 45 minutes to an hour. So now I'm about 90 minutes. And I haven't even started my day. The traveling back and forth from home to the gym, from gym to home or to the office, that was another 20, 30 minutes. That's already 2 hours and I haven't even started my day. Well, ideally, everybody should be prospecting. Everybody should be doing some version of prospecting. This is the part where I'm going to get a little bit of volunteer, if I may, please. Over the course of 1 hour, how much time when prospecting, how much time am I in conversation?
About 45 minutes.
Ooh, that's a lot. 30 minutes? Okay.
I'm thinking 30 minutes, maybe.
Here's the reality of it. Because most of the time we'll go through and we start to prospect. And what ends up happening? Ring, ring, ring. Or it's just in the background and it's silent if you're on an auto dialing system. And you're waiting. It's 807, 808, 812. Hello? Boom, there we go. And that conversation takes, in most cases, how long? 15, 20, maybe 30 seconds. Because you go through one question, two questions, and they hang up. And then again, you wait, and you wait, and you wait. Hello? If you're averaging 6 to 8 contacts an hour, which is very common, but let's round it up and say you are at 10 contacts an hour, and each conversation on average is 2 minutes. That's about 20 minutes at conversing. What am I getting at? What I'm getting at is what are you doing with the other 40 minutes that you are not in conversation? So what would Robert do? Again, I'm prospecting at least 4 hours a day. In those 4 hours a day, 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes, and 40 minutes. Okay, that's 160 minutes. That's about 3 hours. Okay, so I already showed you how I was able to get 90 minutes before getting to the office. And then I just showed you how to get another almost 2.5, and even for that matter, 3 hours of additional listening to myself. Before it was even lunchtime, I would practice at least 3 hours. I know it sounds kooky, but how would that work? I would go through, and that's probably why I'm deaf now. I would go through and I'd put my earbuds in one ear. I had my headphone on in the other ear. Okay. And I would be listening to myself in the auto replay. And I'll also be listening to, people picking up. And the moment that they go hello, I would go boom. I would hit pause. Okay. And then there would be active time. What's the active time? That's the role play. That would be me sitting there, studying my script, having it in front of me, going through doing flashcards. We're not even at lunchtime. Do you guys see what I'm doing? So my point is I need you need you, your family needs you to take a little bit of a different approach. And then of course there is the active time. So that's how I would invest 4 to 6 hours a day over the course of 10 years. Now, am I pretty decent at my skill set? I think so. I honestly think in here, I'm the best out there. I'll go pound for pound with anybody in regards to objection handlers. I'll go pound for pound in regards to the scripts. That's what made me different and special. So when somebody sat there and said, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and relist with my friend, I'm just going to go ahead and move forward and hold off on it. I'm going to wait until the market crashes. I'm going to wait for the interest rates to get a little bit better. Hey, I heard about the 50-year. Do you think I can answer that and respond to it? That's what we're working on. So enough of the soapbox. I'm just sharing with you guys things that we can, in a sense, work actively on. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything of anything that I can go ahead and address? I'm going to share the script now.
Hi, Robert. It's Farnas. I know you mentioned 50-year before, and this is something for the buyers who lower their mortgage payments. Is that how you sell it to them?
Well, the first thing is that it's all speculation. So I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, this is something that Bill Clinton came up with about 20 years ago. So, and it hasn't actually come through. But if I was a betting person, I'm going to say it's going to happen in Donald Trump's, tenure. And as far as that passing, it is building momentum. So as far as the 50 years is concerned, just to answer that question, we just simply want to be able to overcome that because right now it is speculation and it's mostly amongst realtors, a little bit amongst the consumers. But should it get wind with the consumers, it's going to be almost similar to that of I'm going to wait until the interest rates drop. Just imagine if there's a proposal right now. I want you guys to understand this. Imagine if there's a bill that goes into the Senate and they're talking about going to a 50-year term and that bill isn't going to pass until, let's say, February. Do you think buyers are going to go through and not give you guys the, hey, I'm just going to wait until February? You guys don't think we're going to get that? Absolutely. Okay, we're going to get the, I'm going to wait until I can do the 50-year term because I'm going to save $500 to $1,000 on my payments. Now we're going to have this buffer of like, oh shoot, now what? So Farnaz, actually in regards to answering your question, just it's speculation. But if they do tell us, all we're going to do is just simply, I completely understand where you're coming from, Farnaz. We can wait until that bill goes through. However, if the bill doesn't go through, whether that be 3, 4, or even 6 months from now, we need to be in a position to where you can take advantage of today's market. Here's why. Because if we wait until then, do you think there's going to be more buyers? Absolutely. And as far as more buyers means what? More competition. Now, with more competition, do you think you're going to find yourself in a bidding war? Absolutely. Here's the advantage of buying now. The advantage of buying now is the fact that we know exactly where the interest rate is. We know exactly what your competition is. So what we can do, Farnaz, is we can lock you in today, okay? And then if the 50-year term comes available, guess what we can do then? We can go ahead and refi you. Okay. Don't worry about that. Let's be in a position where we can work with what we have now. And if the terms change down the road and it's to your advantage, perfect. You have absolutely no competition right now. So let's avoid all of that potential. Let's avoid all of that hearsay. Let's avoid all of that possibilities. Does that make sense? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So here we go. So here's the script. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys. I did want to invest some time in regards to the practicing because it is important. We all understand what we're trying to accomplish here. Okay, so here we go. As far as the just listed is concerned, this is where we do get some participation. So I'm going to be asking of the audience now, who wants to go ahead and give it a whirl?
Since I'm on mute, I'm going to go.
Go for it. Whenever you're ready. Let's start from the top. There was obviously a little bit of, so for those of you guys that aren't on Zoom, we had some visual, interruption. So I apologize about that. So let's start from the top and let's give it another shot.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Robert.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Robert. My name is Farnaz. I'm a local realtor with Intero Real Estate Services. I just listed a beautiful home for sale around the corner from you over on Banana Street. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it's listed at 1.5 million. I was curious, who do you know that would love to move to your neighborhood?
Very good. Great job. I really love, here's what I liked about with what you did. It's a very good pace. You have a very welcoming tone to your voice. Here's the one thing that happens though. You have a very beautiful accent. And for my people that do have a version of an accent, there is going to be this challenge. There's going to be the challenge of this person does not sound like me. Now, bear with me. I'm not saying here trying to make fun of you or make light of you. I think you know with what I'm referring to. And the moment that we hear anything different, what ends up happening is people start to back off. Okay. And when they back off, they're either going to hang up very quickly, okay, or they're going to be very, very short of an attention span. Now, you can't quite so much change your accent. I actually would rather you not change your accent. But here's what I want you to work on. I want you to work on the mirroring and the matching with the person that you're speaking with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The mirroring and the matching is going to come from a couple of different perspectives. One, in most cases, is going to be the pace that they're speaking. Now, it's hard to get that from just a simple hello, but as we were to go down and I give you responses, I want you to mirror and match the pace. Number 2 is the tonality. The tonality. And what I mean by the tonality, if I sat there, and or enunciation, if I sat there and I started saying things along the line about, I'm just gonna wait things out. I'm probably thinking about at some point in time, maybe going with my family. And I'm thinking, maybe in the summertime, I might revisit the idea. Well, at that point in time, I want you to be a little bit less you and a little bit more of them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in that, here's the thing. I want you to understand that it is important that you continue at the pace. You were absolutely beautiful in the way that you released it. I don't want you to change that. I don't want you to go too far off. But when somebody else that is a little bit off of the norm, I want you to go more in their direction. There's a saying that I use, which is basically, if I'm listening to you, Farnaz, and we're doing, what I used to do is the prospecting clinic. That's where agents prospect, and I would only be able to listen to the agent, but I wouldn't be able to listen to the consumer. I should be able to hear through Farnaz the person you're speaking with. So I should be able to tell if you're speaking with an older lady, or you're speaking with somebody who's very fast, or somebody who's from the South. I should be able to tell through you who you're speaking with. That's how well mirroring and matching comes and takes place. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great job. Awesome. All right, let's get somebody else up. We got maybe a round or two. Who else wants to give it a shot?
I'll give it a shot, Robert.
All right, let's do it, Chris.
Hi, Robert.
Let's start with the ring ring.
Oh, ring ring.
Hello?
Hi, Robert.
That's the mirroring and matching that I'm talking about, Chris. So if I do a hello, I want you to do the hello with me.
Oh, okay.
That's the mirroring and matching that I'm referring to. Now I'm going to go a little extreme just to prove my points. Okay, so let's start from the top.
Hi, Robert.
No. Ring ring.
Oh, ring ring.
Howdy.
Howdy, Robert.
There we go. Yeah.
My name is Chris. I'm a local realtor with VPR Real Estate. We just listed a beautiful home for sale around the corner over on James Street. It's a beautiful 4 bedroom, 3 bath, and it's listed at 900,000. I was just curious, Robert, who do you know that would like to move into our neighborhood?
There we go. There we go. I love that. Great job. Here's what I want though, a little bit of a tweak. So you did a great job in regards to the mirroring and the matching in terms of the tonality that I'm using. But what I want you to do is I want you to create a little bit of an excitement. Okay. And the
Okay.
excitement, what I want you to do is there's going to be certain areas of where you're going to emphasize. So let's roll reverse. Okay. So I'll be
Okay.
the agent, you be the consumer. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hello, Chris.
Yes.
Chris, my name is Robert. I'm a local realtor here with Blank Blank Realty. I just listed a property for sale. It's right around the corner from you over on Banana Street. It's a beautiful 4 bedroom, 2 bath home. And believe it or not, we listed it at a great price of only 500,000. My question to you, Chris, is who do you know that wants to move here into our neighborhood? You see what I'm doing?
Yes. Yes. I
Right.
like the
Let,
mirroring. That's
let,
key.
let's do it one more time. You're going to be the agent this time. So, ring,
Okay.
ring, hello.
Yes. Well, I'm the agent, right?
Yes, sir.
So ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, Robert.
Mirror and match.
Uh,
Hello.
okay, let's try it one more time.
Sure.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hello, Robert.
Yeah.
My name is Chris. I'm a local realtor with VPR Real Estate. We just listed a beautiful home for sale around the corner over on James Street. It's a 5 bedroom, 3 bath, and it's listed at just 900,000. I'm curious, Robert, who do you know that would like to move into our neighborhood?
Good job. Love it. Okay. So it's very, very subtle, but there is a difference because what it does is it keeps me on the phone. These people we have to think of almost as if that we can visualize and see them kind of doing this thing. Some of my millennials, that's a phone. All right. Like, what's this guy doing? Okay. So for my Gen Z people, that's definitely a phone. All right. So we can kind of almost hear and see them going like this, hanging up the phone. So it is important that we do keep them, as close as we possibly can. All right, everybody. So we're at time. Thank you, Chris, for participating. We're going to get a lot more into the role play. This is the whole purpose of this. Okay. I'm going to get less off of my soapbox, but I want to make sure that we are showing up, number one, on time. Number two, we are ready and being able to be in a position to participate. Well, I'll answer one more question. Is there any other questions that I can address before I let everybody go?
Sorry, Robert. I have a question. You say our neighborhood. Is it okay because we're not from the area, but is that done on purpose, or should we say your?
100%. Yeah, they don't know that. Okay. Yeah, they don't know that you're not from the area. And I'm looking to make a move here. I used to live here. I used to, my family used to live here. They don't know that. So our area, what it does is embraces them
Right.
versus your area, and I do that intentionally. Okay. So, Lizette, any closing thoughts? Anything else that maybe you want to let the audience know?
No, I think I could definitely tell the difference between Chris's first one and the second one. Just sounded a lot better energetically. So yeah, did great.
Awesome. All right. Again, for those of you that are over on YouTube, I'm going to go to wrap this thing up. Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to encourage you. This is the benefit of being here on Zoom with us. So I really do appreciate you all being here on time. I always promise to close on time as well. Again, if you guys want more information, I am going to encourage you to go to www.therobertvillanueva.com and get more information. Thank you guys. Let's have a powerful, productive day. I'll see you guys all on Tuesday, 7:30 a.m. Pacific. I'll see you guys then. Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.